All right. So I want to make sure that I'm recording because when you go back and teach your yoga units, you can go back to this video and get all the cues. Obviously, I don't want you writing down cues the entire time. As far as my yoga experience, I started in 2004. Um, I started with Bikram yoga, which is a little different. It's in a heated setting. Um, I got certified in 2014 from Tamal Dodge at Wilmington Yoga Center. I've taught at Be Unlimited, Wilmington Yoga Center, Yoga Salt, and Be Unlimited Yoga. So I've been in a lot of different yoga studios. And I've taught probably at least 1,000 hours of yoga. I've taught here PED 101 yoga, a power yoga class. So I am certified in Hatha yoga. Hatha yoga means power yoga. Power yoga is a more, contemporary yoga practice that involves full body movements, core exercises, taking you through flows through sun salutation A and B, and then setting you up for basically a full body workout plus a stretch. So there's different types of yoga. All yoga teachers are different. Some yoga teachers are recovery based, and you're just doing a lot of passive stretching. Some yoga teachers are traditional based, and they use something like Bikram, where it's a set practice, so you do the same things each class. With Hatha yoga and more contemporary yoga, yoga teachers are now able to create their own classes, but that's based on their certification. So all yoga teacher certifications are different. So if you get a teacher, with a Yoga Salt or a Tamal Dodge yoga certification like I have, it's going to be different than someone with maybe like a Vinyasa Flow or maybe one of the more traditional ones like Bikram. Okay, has anyone ever heard of a Kundalini yoga before? Raise your hand if you have. Okay, that's another form of yoga. Has anyone heard of any other forms of yoga besides Kundalini, Hatha yoga? Yin yoga, okay, there's yin and yang, right? So yin would be the water, and yin is more of a mellow flow. Yang, it would be more of a hot flow or a power flow. So in yoga, you look at the elements of earth, water, fire, and wind in your practice. So certain elements like fire will get your body moving. Certain elements like air or breathing get your body breathing. And then you have earth, which is grounding, like something like where you're looking at stability or balance. And then you have water, right? Moving like water. So those would be the four elements of yoga. Okay, we have water, fire, earth, and then who remembers the fourth one? And wind. Okay. So we have four elements of yoga. If you are using a whiteboard, you can use those four colors: green for earth, blue for water, black for air, and red for fire. And when I'm working with, let's say, individuals with disabilities, I like to show them that different color means different poses or different types of poses. So if you're ever trying to categorize some of the yoga postures, you can say water, fire, wind, and earth. Okay, so grounding, fiery, watery, and then also focusing on your breathing. All right, so in yoga, we do take off our shoes and our socks. Okay, we don't have to make our students go outside and take their shoes and socks off if they don't want to, but I'm going to encourage you to take your shoes and socks off today with me. Okay. I want you to try something new, okay? Your toes and your feet are super important, okay? You might be feet cringy or whatever it may be, but your toes are probably the most important thing on your body. They're like the tires of your car, right? If you don't have good balance or good stability, then you can't move that car the way you want to be able to move it. So it's not unconventional. It's not weird to have your toes showing. You should be able to move your toes. If you can't move your toes, you're more likely to get bunions. Bunions are not fun, require surgery when you get older. If you don't have access to 90 degrees of dorsiflexion of that big toe, then that's one limiting factor every time you walk, because every time you walk, you use your big toe. Okay, shoes nowadays are curved upwards. So you'll see most of our shoes go off the ground at the top, which means that our feet are never really grounded. Okay, so our feet can actually, our shoes, especially heeled shoes, can actually disrupt our posture just based on our feet. Okay, so we always try to think about grounding first when we're teaching yoga. The first thing I like our students to do is either sit like we're doing now, cross-legged, or lay on the back, or go into child pose. So those are the three beginning postures. Okay, I don't like to start by standing because there's not a lot of postures you can do while we're standing. So the first thing I might have our students do is go ahead and just lay down on your back. You can bend your knees. You can go into child pose, whatever feels best for you. We're going to focus always in yoga, the first 5 minutes at least is going to be breathing focused, breathing based. So from here, wherever you are, take a big exhale out through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Fill it all the way up. And exhale it all the way out. I want you to continue this. Inhaling through your nose, let your belly rise. Fill it all the way up, hold it at the top. And then exhale as long as you can. Get all the air out. And go at your own pace. So we're not going to do this together. We're going to go at your own pace. When teaching yoga, you always want to tell students to be as independent as possible. If there's something you don't want to do, doesn't feel right, go into a resting position like you are now. It is not uncommon to see me like this in a class when there's something going on. If I don't want to move, it's my choice. It's focusing here again, inhaling through the nose, filling the belly, filling the sides, and then also filling the lower back. Fill the air 360 degrees. Think there's a soccer ball that's being inflated inside you 360. So it's not just a belly, it's not just your side, it's also your back. Think 360. So part of yoga is also stress reduction, mental health. It's not just physical. We do yoga to try to limit pain, limit problems of posture so that we can feel better in our own body. So if just sitting, for example, cross-legged doesn't feel right, that's something that you might want to work on or you might want to think about. From here, we're going to inhale through our nose, filling our belly, fill the ribs. We're going to hold it a little bit longer this time. So I want you to try to hold your breath for as long as you can. And take a long exhale out. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the sides, fill the back, fill everything all the way up, hold it at the top. Maybe inhale a little bit more. Long exhale out. Good. All right, from here, while we're on our back, we don't need to get into a new position right away. So think of things that you can do while you're on your back, right? So one thing is just bottoms of the feet together. Again, just focusing on inhaling through the nose. If you want to strictly inhale and exhale through the nose, that's fine. And focus on your nostril breathing. Remember, nostril breathing cleans the air, warms the air, and provides moisture, which is all essential for breathing. It also increases nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator, really important for blood flow and oxygen delivery. So inhaling through the nose has many benefits. From here, straighten both legs, bring the right knee to the chest. Hold here. You can pull it up as high as you'd like. Again, focusing on your breathing the entire time. Try not to let your mind wander from your breath. So always focusing back on your breath. The more we focus on our breathing, the less we're going to focus on outside distractions. Go ahead and switch side. Good job. From here, breathe. Each posture is going to be about 15 seconds at least to 30 seconds to a minute at most. From here, we're going to extend that knee, hands behind the hamstring, and we're just going to rotate that ankle as slow as you can. Just think your toes are tracing a clock. So try to go in a full circle, just your ankle. You try 2 to 3 circles one way, 2 to 3 circles the other way. It's important to relax your head here, unless you want to pull it up. Then from here, we're going to hold on to the hamstrings and thigh. We're going to dorsiflex or point that toe toward the back of the room. We're going to bend the knee all the way, and then extend the knee all the way. Bend, extend. And then let's go ahead and switch. Hamstring hold. Rotate 3 circles one way, 3 circles the other way. Slow and controlled. These are called controlled articular rotations. And go 2 to 3 the other way. That basically means that you're trying to control each circle, making it a perfect circle and not skipping any boundaries of that circle. And then go ahead from here, dorsiflex that ankle or point that toe toward the back of the room, bend that knee all the way, and extend that knee. Bend that knee, extend that knee. Good. From here, we're going to cross the left foot over the right quad, but make sure that the foot hangs over. I'm mirroring you here, so make sure that that ankle is over the knee, dorsiflexed again here. We want that knee to be pushed forward. So we don't want to be like this. We want to push that knee forward. And then from here, we can bring our hands underneath the back of that hamstring. We want to thread through the center here. So Eugene, left hand goes through the center. Other way. There we go. Hold here. And notice that I have both ankles dorsiflexed. Both ankles are tight here. I'm going to pull that toward my body, but push away that knee. You're going to feel that in that left hip rotator. Gluteus max, medius, minimus, piriformis. And go ahead and switch side. Don't forget about your breathing here. Most importantly, you want to hold for breaths here. Yes, time is important, but breathing is probably more important. So at least 3 inhales, at least 3 exhales. Inhaling for 4 to 5, exhaling for 6 to 8. Remember, trying to get those exhales longer than your inhales. Good job. All right, from here, we're going to open the legs up for an adductor stretch. This is a very safe adductor stretch. It's called Happy Baby, modified. I have my hands on the inside of my knees. I'm going to pull those knees toward my shoulders, but keep my lower back on the ground. I want my back flat. So I don't want my lower back going off the ground. From here, I can rock side to side, just slightly, not overdoing it. Good job. Good. From here, we're going to bend those knees. And in yoga, it's a little bit different than in strength training. Strength training, we really focus on squeezing those glutes. In yoga, we think more about pushing into those shoulders. So I wedge my shoulder blades underneath. I have my hands at my hips. I squeeze my glutes. My knees go toward each other, pretending that I'm squeezing a soccer ball between my knees. I'm just going to hold here and breathe. Again, inhale, the belly should rise. Exhale, the belly should deflate. One more inhale. One more exhale here. And slowly come down. Good. Slowly, we're going to rock all the way forward, and then we're going to rock back. So we're going to do a couple egg rolls. Yep, we're going to go for 5 to 8, trying to keep those knees together. Tuck your chin. Keep it tucked on the way back so that the back of the head does not touch the ground. This is also a nice gymnastic movement. So we're back to seated. From here, I like to just reach out in front. Notice we haven't really done too much dynamic work yet. Okay, we're just slowly, first 15 minutes in yoga, I like to just move, just feel out each muscle. We're going to walk our hands to the left, your left, my right. Noticing that I'm going to mirror everything. So if I say I'm going to the left, that means I'm going to my right, your left. Okay. Hips stay on the ground here. Ischial tuberosity. Switch side. So we are on our sit bones. Our sit bones are where our hamstrings are originated from. And back up to seated. Bottoms of the feet together. This is a quick test. You could just see how many fists can I get underneath my knee here. Okay, going, I guess a good average score would be just trying to get 1. If you see someone with like 2 or 3 fists, then you can tell that they might need some stretching in the hip flexors and also the hip rotators. So from here, I'm just going to focus on my breathing. I'm going to actively try to get my knees to the ground. And breathe. Okay, I can bring my right hand behind me, and I can take my left hand and help that stretch out a little bit. I can twist to the other side. Switch. Okay, since we've already been in this posture for about 15-30 seconds, when we add an extension to the posture like we're doing now, we don't need to spend another 10, 15, 30 seconds. So sometimes I'll just do another thing for about 5, 10 seconds. From here, let's bring those feet out front. Take our first forward fold of the day. Toes touch, heels away. We actually want to push those toes forward and bring the outsides of our feet toward our body. So from here, we want our sit bones on the ground, so sit up nice and tall. Our hands can be used as kickstands. This is where if we have yoga blocks, we can use yoga blocks for support. So if you feel like you need support or you're like not feeling balanced, we have soccer balls that we could probably take outside with us that we could be using for support. So from here, I want to back straight, feet together. Staff pose here, we're going to just hinge at the hips. A lot of times you see people just immediately go like this. What happens is we have a posterior pelvic tilt here. What that means is that our ischium tuberosity, our pelvic bones are tilted this way, right? When we have an anterior pelvic tilt, what we're doing is we're taking our pelvis away, which lengthens our hamstring. So when we do this, we don't really feel anything as much as when we have an anterior pelvic tilt and then hinge forward with a straight back. And then holding here may not be comfortable, but don't go into any pain. Breathe and hold. And then I'll walk my hands forward, and then I'll start the curve of my spine. So it's not like I don't want to see that. I just want to know that there's 2 different options here. And then you can try to forward fold. And just try to sink deeper on each exhale. try not to go up and down on your inhales and exhales. So I'm going to hold on my inhale, and then when I exhale, I'm going to try to, even if it's just a centimeter, just a little bit forward. Take another inhale, hold my new position, exhale, forward fold, and slowly come back up. Okay? From here, I'm just going to make my way to hands and knees, or tabletop position. Cues, hands under the shoulders, fingertips spread apart. A lot of times you'll see people like this with their fingers, doing push-ups, doing a lot of things. Use all 10 fingers, spread those fingertips apart. From here, elbow pits or biceps are facing forward, so that's an externally rotated shoulder. Knees are under the hips, the feet are behind the knees. Tabletop, we're in a neutral spine. So this would be an extended spine. This would be a flex spine. This would be posterior pelvic tilt. This would be anterior pelvic tilt. I don't want either. I want neutral spine, neutral pelvis. This is tabletop. This is the position. It's also called a draw-in. Okay? And again, this is a great position for us to breathe in as well. We want those toes tucked. Take 2 inhales and 2 exhales here with your mouth. Exhale it all out. Inhale through your nose. Fill your upper back, your belly, and your sides. Feel the air go into your upper back. Long exhale out. One more. Inhale. Fill it, hold it. Maybe inhale a little bit more. And long exhale. Good. From here, our knees are spread apart. Our toes are going to touch. We're going to sit back if that doesn't hurt our knees and bring our forehead down. If that does hurt our knees, we can add more pads or we can just do this. Okay? Otherwise, we want those knees wide, toes touch, forehead down. The bridge of the nose is also on the ground. The shoulders are relaxed. Again, inhale and exhale. This is child pose. Full inhale, full exhale. Good. Remember, this is more about stress relief than it is this high energetic workout. We are going to get into some strength, but in the beginning and at the end, we want to slowly get there and slowly get out of there. From here, let's move our way back to hands and knees. I'm going to, from this position, step my left leg back, tuck that toe. I'm going to rotate my right hip so that I'm going to pivot my right foot in front of my left knee. From here, my right hand will go out, and I'm going to rock that right hip. You can also bend that back knee if you feel the stretch more when you do that. Otherwise, I'm going to rock outward, just getting about 5 rocks. Back to tabletop. Switching side. Right leg back. Rotate that front knee. Left hand goes out. Rock to that right hip. This is the posterior hip capsule stretch. Hip capsules, shoulder capsules, joint capsules. Capsules obviously connect two bones, and there's a capsule of fluid around each joint. From here, what we're going to do is go into our first downward dog. Fingertips are spread apart. Push the head through the shoulders. Hips are high. We're making a upside down V. Okay, head is through the shoulders. You can bend one knee at a time here. And bring those knees back down. From here, I'm going to thread the back of my left hand through. So the back of my left hand is going to slide across. I don't want to rotate too much. I'm just going to go down so I feel a nice stretch in my back, maybe my shoulder. Hang out here, take an inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. And then push your hand that's into the ground away and switch side. Rotate through, back of the hand. Forehead can be down, or you can look in that direction. Breathe and hold here. Take 2 more inhales and 2 more exhales. Good. Making our way back to hands and knees. From here, we're going to bring our right hand forward like we're shaking someone's hand. We're going to have our thumb up. We're going to reach up as high as we can. Rotate back like we're reaching in the back seat of a car. Palm face up here. We're going to bend the elbow like we're itching our upper back. And then we're going to relax that elbow down and look straight down here. You should feel a nice stretch in that shoulder. Try not to go into any pain here. From here, create a fist with your right hand and press just slightly down into the back so that you feel that stretch in your front shoulder. From here, we're going to lift that fist off the back with the elbow bent if possible. And then we're going to extend that elbow, open up the hand, rotate and reach all the way forward and down. Switching hands like you're about to shake someone's hand. If this is too much on your knees, you can always just go like this in the kneeling position. From here, we're going to reach all the way back, palm facing up, back of the hand behind the back. Make a fist, let the elbow drop down. Should feel a nice stretch in that front shoulder. From here, squeeze the fist, press the fist into the back so it activates that front delt. Then from here, we're going to lift the elbow and hand off the back, extend the elbow, open up the palm, rotate and reach all the way forward and down, back to tabletop. From here, child pose. Take 2 inhales, 2 exhales here. Good. We'll make our way back to hands and knees or tabletop. We're going to push into downward dog. From here, we're going to pedal those feet one at a time. Again, taking inhales and exhales here. Inhale through the nose, exhale it out. Inhale and exhale. From here, we're going to bring our feet together. If you need to bring the knees down at any point, you can. From here, we're going to lift that right heel toward the ceiling with your legs straight. Try to keep your right hip down, so internally rotated if possible. Try to get that heel up toward the sky and set it down next to your left foot and switch side. Breathe. If you can, try to get your right heel down. I know. And back down, both knees down, back to child pose. If child pose isn't a resting position for you, then you can just go like this. You can go into cross-legged position. You can go to a kneeling position. So if this doesn't feel like a relaxing position, then don't worry about it. Good. From here, back to tabletop. We're going to face this side of the gym. We're going to open up the knees for a nice adductor stretch here with the toes touching. Option 1, just going down like this and holding here. Option 2, extending that left knee or left leg out and rocking back. So this is option 2. You do not have to do this option. So if you are doing this option, we're going to go for about 3 rocks, 3 to 5 rocks. and then switch. If you're in that first option, just stay there and hang out. If you're in that second option, go ahead and switch sides. Either or, we're getting the adductors again. Butterfly stretch 2. If this doesn't feel comfortable for long, then make your way to child pose whenever you're ready. Child pose, tabletop, always going to be home-based positions to meet people in a comfortable place. So I wouldn't want to meet everyone in a tough spot like downward dog. So we're all going to meet in a resting position. Get your breath back. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes of our warm-up phase, and so now we're going to get into some core activation, strength for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to go into about 15-minute cool down, long stretch closure, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is just set up in downward dog. Push the head through the shoulders. From here, we're going to walk our feet to the front of our mat. Try to bring our toes together, heels apart if possible, in a forward fold position. You can bend the knees as much as you need. From here, we're going to drop the arms and come up one vertebrae at a time, as slow as you can. All the way to standing. I'm going to go to the front edge of your mat. So we are in mountain pose, Tadasana. Big toes touch, heels apart about an inch. Squeeze your quads. Hips are neutral, so we're not in an anterior pelvic tilt, spilling the fishbowl forward or back. Ribs are down, palms are facing forward, elbows forward, chin is tucked in like you're being measured. Okay, externally rotated shoulders here. This is mountain pose. Try not to flare our ribs here. Keep our ribs down. Chin tucked. We got Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jalandhara Bandha. Has anybody ever heard of those locks before? We don't need to go into those locks. But Mula Bandha is a bottom lock. Uddiyana Bandha is a belly lock. Jalandhara Bandha is that chin tuck. Okay? From here, just close your eyes or keep them open. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. From here, if it isn't already, see if you can put the tip of your tongue behind the back of the top of the teeth in your palate and rest it there. So this is a good clamp when you are breathing. It's a good place for the tongue to be. The reason why, think about a baby when they thumb suck. There's a place right here behind the back of the teeth that activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So when we have our tongue clamped and when we breathe like that, it also stimulates that parasympathetic. So we're there breathing, inhaling through our nose. And now we're going to try to inhale and exhale through our nose the entire time. If we have to breathe through our mouth on our exhale, that's totally fine. So we're going to go through Sun Salutation A. Starting in mountain pose, we're going to inhale, we're going to reach our arms all the way up. You can look overhead, you can do a slight back bend if you want. Then we're going to exhale, rain fall down, slight bend of the knees, hang out here. From here, we're going to inhale, flatten the back, straighten the knees. Exhale, back to our forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. Okay, that's our first part of Sun Salutation. Now we're going to move through downward dog. Okay? Okay, here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. From here, inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back to a push-up plank position. If you want to bring one knee down or two knees down, that's totally fine. Take an inhale here. Wherever you are, we're going to bring those knees down, shift forward, lower down. Forehead will touch. Then we're going to go into a modified Sphinx pose or Cobra pose with our forearms forward. We're going to go back to that push-up position with our hands on the ground. We're going to push up into downward dog. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we're going to walk, step. Some people will jump to the front of their mat. Hold here. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, mountain pose. So maybe that was your first modified sun salutation. So I showed you Sphinx pose first because that's a good option for people with lower back issues. We know that lower back issues will consume 90% of us as we age. So we always want to be mindful of the lower back. My mindset comes from the functional movement systems training, which says that our ankles should be mobile, our knees should be stable, our hips should be mobile, lower back stable, thoracic spine mobile, shoulders mobile, neck stable. So I'm always going to try to treat those body parts those ways as well. So we're going to go through sun salutation A one more time, but this time we're going to add in Cobra instead of Sphinx. So at the top of your mat, toes touch, heels away an inch, palms face forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank, push-up position. Inhale here. Exhale, lean forward, bring those knees down, point the toes, lower down. From here, inhale, Cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Hold here, take an inhale. And an exhale. One more inhale. As you exhale, we're going to step, jump or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, mountain pose. Okay, so that's sun salutation A with Cobra. Okay, so if Cobra didn't feel bad on your back, then you can use that going forward, or you can go into that Sphinx position. But it's good to give your students options as opposed to forcing them into some positions that might be hard. Okay, so with sun salutation, we can maneuver into different things. So I can go inhale and exhale, get you into plank, and then get you into some movements, and then just get you back into mountain pose. So I can always like reconfigure here with the sun salutation. So now we're going to get into some core and some strength. And focus a little bit on some standing work first. So from here, what we're going to do is bring our feet together. We're going to bring our hands at our hips. From here, we're going to step the left leg back. So we're in a high split stance squat position. Okay, I don't say lunge because lunge is a movement. I'm going to hold here. Okay, I want to pretend that when I step back, my right toe is on the same line as my left toe is on the same line as my right heel. If I were to draw a line on the center of my mat. Okay, so if my left foot's here, I want to bring it here. Almost like I'm on a train track. Okay? From here, this is just crescent warrior. My back heel is up. I'm squeezing that back quad, that knee tight, okay? From here, I can bring my arms overhead. I can extend this by trying to get deeper in my lunge, my split stance, okay? Then from here, hands at heart center, step forward. Hands at the hips, step the right foot back. Set up here in a high split squat position. In yoga, this is called crescent warrior. Breathe here. So this is a regression of warrior one. So some people can't get warrior one, so we just say, hey, let's just go to crescent warrior, or just hold that split stance position. Hands at the hips, step forward. Now, warrior one, feet together. You're on that train track. We're going to step back. That heel is going to go down. Our foot is angled at about a 45-degree angle. So this, let's just say this is 90. We want about half that, facing almost forward. Our right heel and left heel should be on the same line. If there was a line down the center of our mat, right heel and left heel are on that same line. From here, I do want a 90-degree front knee bend. And then again, shifting those hips forward, arms overhead. I can interlace my hands here. Breathe into that. I can also take a back bend here. From here, hands at heart center, step forward. From here, step the right foot back, right heel down. Again, 45 degrees. Hips, shoulders are forward. We don't want too much of an arch in the back. So we don't want to be arching to start. From here, arms overhead. Breathe. Focus on your inhales and exhales. If you want to go for a back bend, you can. But again, the back bend shouldn't be just a drop back. We're kind of going up first. Step forward. Hands at the hips. From here, we're going to step back to that. We're going to go 90 degrees first. And then we're just going to go in about 10. So about 80 degrees. Okay? Front hand over the front heel. Back hand over the back heel. Palms face down. Look at both hands. Are they even with each other? Nice. Self-check. From here, that hip is open. We're looking for a 90-degree bend. This one, you're really going to feel it in the VMO, vastus medius oblique here, and your adductors. You can sizzle that for as long as you want. From here, we're going to extend that front knee. That right hand goes down, left hand goes up. This is triangle. Back to warrior two. Reverse warrior, left hand goes down. Keep that front knee straight. We're going to reach back. Look at the hand. This is tough on balance. Try to look at the hand. Look where the fingertips are going. Back to warrior two. Step forward. Step the right foot back. Open it up 90, parallel with the back edge of your mat, and then go in about 10 degrees. Front knee bent, arms over those heels. Don't let the knee go over the toe. Notice that my knee is bent 90, but it's not going over my toe, so I don't want this. That's an extension, but we're not ready for that yet. Okay, from here I can straighten out that front knee. From warrior two, it's real simple to go into triangle like we're doing here. Again, if I had a soccer ball, this is going to help, or a basketball. I can push that hand down into that ball, and it's going to help me stack my shoulders. Look how I'm trying to stack those shoulders here. Okay? Back to warrior two. Challenge yourself with the reverse warrior two. And let's step forward, back to mountain. Okay? So that's warrior 1, 2, 3, reverse warrior, and triangle. Okay? It's real easy to set up from mountain pose into those positions. It's an easy transition to teach, and it's an easy transition for high school students to learn, right? As opposed to trying to flow in and out of that, okay? Now we're going to get into some core work and warrior three. First starting with warrior three. So warrior three is like a single leg reach, okay? But from here, I'm going to hinge at the hips and try to keep that back leg straight, toes pointed down. I want to make sure that I don't externally rotate my hip. So first thing I might do is just see if I can balance my head forward. Notice that I'm trying to get my head in line with my heel. Once I feel like I've done that, I'm going to bring my arms over my head. Point that toe down. Notice that this is external hip rotation. I want internal hip rotation. Looking for a straight line. Extensions would be half moon. And then twisted half moon. But we don't have to get there today. So let's just focus on warrior three. Feet together, hands at the hips. From here, we're going to extend that right leg back behind us. Try to hinge over that front leg. I want you to try to get 3 inhales 3 exhales here. If you want to go for 4 and 5, that's fine too. Just go at your own pace. Good. And wherever you are, let's go ahead and try to switch side. Reaching forward, reaching back, pulling the body apart. Breathe and hold. And making our way back up. Good. From here, let's go ahead and flow through sun salutation and make our way into some core work. So from here, we're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Hold here. Drop those knees down. From here, what we're going to do is bring those knees off the ground a centimeter. We're going to hold for 3 inhales and 3 exhales. I just want you to let that kind of simmer there. Shoulders and core. We're going to bring those knees off the ground, round that upper back, and breathe into that. Inhale and exhale. So it's just a extended version of a cat pose with the knees off the ground, and slowly come down. Now from here, we're going to challenge, well, we just challenged extension, anti-extension, so we're trying not to extend the spine because we have our back rounded, right? Now we're going to challenge rotation. So we're going to get in that same position with the knees off the ground, and we're going to see if we can tap outside and then back in. 3 reps to the right and then 3 reps to the left. And you want to keep your knees down on the ground for this, you can. Otherwise, I want you to challenge yourself by trying not to move anything but the hands, okay? So go ahead and try 3 on each side. Knees a centimeter from the ground, good. 90-degree knee bend. Good. From here, we'll bring our palms down, toes and feet back, forearm knee plank. So notice that I have a posterior pelvic tilt, so I'm squeezing my glutes here. This would be an anterior pelvic tilt, be posterior pelvic tilt, flat back, option 1. See if you can get a flat back. So if our butt's in the air like this, bring it down and try to get a flat back. Round the upper shoulder, so no space between the shoulder blades. And tuck your belly in. So if you, yep, there you go. Then from here, elbows under the shoulders, palms in front of the elbows. Tuck the toes. Squeeze the knees together and lift the knees off the ground. Round the upper back. Squeeze the glutes so the glutes are in line with the head. Tuck the chin. Take 3 inhales, 3 exhales here. Inhale all the way. This is where we can exhale everything out through the mouth. 2 more inhales, 2 more exhales. Challenge yourself. 1 more. And slowly bring those knees down. From here, we're going to make our way to the side. So, facing this way. From here, just hold this position. We're going to press that right hand right in front of the elbow. Bend both those knees. We want a straight line from our knee to our shoulder to our head. So we want to go from hips tucked back here, hips extended. Squeeze those glutes. From here, we're going to try to push into the ground so that we're going from activating the core on this side right here and holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Now we're going to try to extend those knees. Left foot over top. We are adducting the top leg. We're abducting the bottom leg. So we're getting not only core, but stabilizers of our lower legs here. We're going to use our front hand here to push ourselves into the ground. And then we're going to bring our hand at the hip. and hold. Inhale, tuck the chin, exhale, one more inhale, long hard exhale, and come down. The harder you exhale, the more those muscles are going to turn on. All right, let's face the other way. Okay, again, bend those knees. The knees are in line with the shoulder. Finger is in front of the shoulder. Shoulder is right over top of that elbow. Squeeze those hips. Come up tall. You should feel it in that left internal oblique there. Then keep those knees totally bent, hips up, hold, and down. Now go ahead and extend those knees. Right over top, left underneath. Push in with that right hand up, hand at the hip. Hold, 2 strong inhales, 2 strong exhales. Get it all out, big exhale. And slowly come down. Good job. From here, let's go to a seated position with our feet in front. Okay. From here, we're going to slowly make our way down onto the back. Our feet are about shoulder width height. Our hands are going to go in front of our chest. Our chin is tucked into the ground. We want to glue those heels into the ground. We're going to take an inhale. You can watch me first. I'm going to exhale toward the ceiling, and then I'm going to slowly control it as slow as I can on the way down. We're going to go for 3 high-quality reps. So it's going to look like this. Up, and then down slow as you can. 1 vertebrae at a time. Try not to skip vertebrae. All right, go ahead and try that. Up fast, down slow, 1 vertebrae at a time. Try not to skip vertebrae. Go low vertebrae to high vertebrae. 3 high-quality reps. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and I'll show you a modification for this one. We're going to bend the right knee. Right hand is in front. This time the head will stay down to start. I'm going to sit up to my left elbow. Same thing on the way down. Let's try 2 reps on each side. Switching side, bend that left knee, straighten that right leg, left arm out front, sit up to that right elbow, and then slowly come down. Just try 2 reps on each side. Good. Okay, now we don't have to do this as a group, but this eventually, quarter get up, half get up, and then you can go to the whole get up. Okay? So fitness and yoga, you can definitely hand in hand with some of the exercises. Okay? So we just went over straight leg sit up and quarter get up. From here, let's just go into our knee hug. Okay, it's always okay to go from a hard position to an easy position, just to give your students a break. And go ahead and switch side. Good. From here, we're going to bend those knees at a 90-degree angle. Bring those arms over the chest. Head is down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my right arm over my head as I extend my left leg. My thumb will touch, my heel will touch, and then I'm going to go back. Same thing, opposite side, back. So we're coordinating opposite limb movements here, contralateral movement here. We're going to go for about 30 seconds. So go at your own pace. Good. Exhale as you bring your arms over. Strong exhale. Harder the exhale, more of those muscles are going to be turned on. Good. From here, we're going to unsupported
bring our arms out to the side, and extend those feet toward the ceiling. Keep your low back on the ground. Tuck those toes toward the back of the room. From here, we're going to keep that left foot where it is. We're going to slowly, on our exhale that right leg down. Don't let the heel touch the ground. And then come back up on your inhale. Same thing. Right leg goes down on your exhale. Strong exhale. Come right back up. One more time. Strong exhale. Keep that left foot where it is. And back up. We're going to switch here. You can bend the knees if you need to. Keep that right toe up. Left leg goes down on your exhale. Right back up. Left leg goes down. Nice and slow. Strong exhale. Try to control it on the way down. Back up. One more time. Strong exhale on the way down. And back up. Bring the knees to the chest. Rock side to side. Okay, you can go to happy baby if you want. You can rock side to side here. Now from here, we're going to extend that left leg. And we're going to bring that right leg over top. We're going to reach that left hand toward the right foot. And then tee it back down. Switch side. And now we're going to see if we can bring both legs up. We're going to try to tap those feet 5 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Back to happy baby, knees to chest. When you're ready, we're going to rock up. Bring the hands behind. Option 1, hold here. Option 2, we're going to bring those hips up in line with the knees. Chin tuck here. Hold for about 10 seconds while you're breathing and slowly come back down. Remember, hang out here if you want, or we're going to go for one more rep and hold. Squeeze the glutes. And come down. Good job. All right, from here, let's go back to our tabletop position. Hands and knees. Pushing the downward dog, head through the shoulders. Take an inhale. As you exhale, walk the feet to the front of the mat, forward fold. From here, extend that right leg back behind you. Option 1, hold here. Option 2, see if you can go right into Warrior 3 and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, back to forward fold. Extend that left leg back. Hold here. Option 1, hold. Option 2, push into the ground to Warrior 3. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, forward fold. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, mountain. All right, we're going to go through Sun Salutation B. It's a lot like Sun A, but starts with chair. So toes together, heels apart. Inhale, bend the knees. Hold here. Don't let the knees go over the toes. Sink down as deep as you can. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Hold here. Take an inhale. Exhale, lean forward, bring your knees down if you need to. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Hold here. Take an inhale. Lift the right leg up. As you exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. And you can go crescent warrior or warrior 1. We want to get warrior 1, but if crescent warrior works better for you, hold here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, frame your foot. Step it back to downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it all the way through. Plant the back foot. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale. Exhale, frame the foot. Step it back to downward dog. Take an exhale. Take an inhale here. One more exhale. Big inhale, hips high. Exhale, bend the knees, step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, curveball, chair pose. Exhale, mountain. So that's sun B. Try it one more time. Inhale, reach up. Bend the knees. Sink into your chair. Hold. Take one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Feet together. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Hold here. One more big inhale. Exhale, frame the foot, step it back, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale, step the left leg up toward the air. Exhale, step it through. Plant that back foot down. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, frame the foot, step it back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, mountain. Woo. So you should have gotten the blood going a little bit there. So that would be our full body / core work. Our main task in yoga is getting everything going. Now we're going to slow it down into some recovery phases and some longer stretches. Okay. First, we're going to challenge the balance since we're here, feet together. Option one, left foot, toe points down, left heel touches the inside of your left ankle. Option two, calf. Option three, not on the knee, above the knee. Pushing the thigh into the foot, foot into the thigh. Hands at heart center. Hold and breathe. Okay, you can bring your arms over your head for a challenge. And then if you really want to challenge, hands at heart center, see if you can close your eyes for more than 5 seconds. Whew. If you're not messing up, you're messing up, right? All right, feet together. Let's try the other side. Option one, option two, option three. Option four. And then since we're trees, there could be wind. So you can challenge a little dynamic. Or you can try closing your eyes. And good job. All right, let's go to a wide stance facing this way. So we're in our pyramid position. We're creating a pyramid. Where are most of the pyramids? Egypt? From here, we're going to hinge at the hips. If you can, bring the hands down or just keep your hands on the hips. This is where if you had a soccer ball, if you want to grab a soccer ball or a yoga block, you could grab one. To hold here. If you can, we're going to try to reach through and behind. Don't worry, that's not something that you need to do. From here, if you can, right hand down, left hand up. Take a couple inhales. Exhales here.
Go ahead and switch side, left hand down, right hand up, hold. Good. And then lastly, you can stand up. If you want to extend this even more, we can lean to one side in a Cossack lunge. Okay. And then we can go to the other side. Don't want to hang out here too long. All right, come back up. And then a progression of that, you can just watch this, but for like movement people, you can do something like that. So this is probably not something you're going to want to teach students, but that would be a deep, deep progression of the Cossack, different levels. Okay? All right. So let's make our way to the front of the mat. In order to get down, I don't just tell people, let's just sit down. Let's just go through a sun salutation to get down. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank, knees down. Child pose. Hold here. Breathe. Knees apart, toes touch. Just focus on your breathing here. Good. From here, hands and knees. Now we're going to do pigeon pose, but I give people the option of 90-90 because pigeon can be very hard on the knees. I know because I have knee issues. So pigeon pose, I set up with the right knee going to the right hand, and I drop that leg back, almost like I'm doing that posterior hip rock. But with this one, I'm going to almost sit down on that shin and knee. This is where it can be a problem for some people's knees. Okay? Hendrix got it, so if you want to model after him. Then from here, I'm going to bring my forearms down. If this doesn't hurt my knees and I feel a decent stretch in the hip, I'm going to hang out here. If this does not feel right, I'm going to go in that 90-90 position. Okay? So you would bring your left foot forward, right leg back, and you would just hinge over that front hip. And in my opinion, this is probably safer and better for the hip. But I want to keep yoga traditional as well, so I want to make sure that you have those options. Okay, so I would recommend 90-90 for most people if they don't have a knee issue. Let's go back to hands and knees. Another way you can set up into pigeon is going from downward dog, reaching the right leg up, crossing through, and then coming back into that hip. So any way you want to get into your opposite hip, breathe and hold. Might be a little too. Yep. Should just be feeling a slight stretch. Doesn't feel right, like I said, that 90-90 position is going to get the same muscles that we're trying to get. Again, this is hip rotators, glute max medius, minimus, piriformis. All right, from here, yes? So, yeah, you want to be on your butt. Most people can't get into pigeon correctly, honestly. You're supposed to have a 90-degree angle in pigeon when they tell you at your certification, but no one can ever get in there. So everyone's always usually compensating, and that's why I say it's a very hard thing to do on that front knee. So that's why I do like that 90-90 version where we can just hinge through, save that hip, or save that front knee as opposed to maybe making it more difficult. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and bring those feet out front. We're going to bring those feet out, this time to straddle. Hands are behind the body. We're going to first start by hinging forward using our hands to push us forward, option 1. And then option 2, bringing those hands forward and reaching as far as we can that doesn't hurt. Again, just stretching to your comfort limits, focusing on your breathing. So one thing that we usually forget first, right, is our breathing. And then we're going to go to our right side. We're going to frame the knee. Framing means that we're putting our hands on equal distance to an object. So we're framing the knee. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to turn my shoulders and my hips as I hinge into this position. Center, frame your left knee. Try not to round the back as much as hinge and chest up. It's a lot easier to round and collapse the spine as opposed to straightening the spine. Good. Okay, bring our feet in just a little bit. I'm going to challenge your vastus medius. We're going to frame that left foot, and we're going to push into the ground. We're going to see if we can lift that heel off the ground. You're going to feel it in your TFL. Tension fascial lata is going to turn on, and it might cramp. If it cramps, just bend that knee. Okay? So we're going to see if we can push into the ground. If you want to make it harder, go out wider. If you want to make it easier, go in front of you. So we're just going to try to see if we can lift up and hold for 3 seconds. So let's start. So we're going to push into the ground, take an inhale. And then up, hold, 1, 2, 3, down. Try it one more time. Ready? Up, 1, 2, 3, down. Switch side, chin up. Ready? Up, 1, 2, 3, down. Up, 1, 2, 3, down. Good. Feet together, shake it out. From here, hands behind, we're going to hinge forward. Hold, try to keep that back straight. It always helps if you have a mirror. If you don't have a mirror, posture usually goes out the window a lot of times. You can see. And then from here, now we can go ahead. We're going to take about a minute here. So if this doesn't fancy you, you can just sit up, do whatever you want. But we're going to do a forward fold. Typically in a yoga class, you'll get a couple long, deep stretches. This is one of those forward folds. We're just going to just breathe here. Inhaling through the nose, close your eyes. Exhale long. As you exhale, maybe go a little deeper. Just focus on your breathing here. Good. Couple more inhales and exhales. And slowly roll up. Okay, any other tight spots on the body for anyone that you might want to cover? Knees, shoulders, anything? So chest, what's that? Traps, chest. Well, with chest, things we can do is basically bringing the hands behind the back, going into a kneeling position, and trying to open up, bringing the palms together, and the shoulders back and down. Okay. We can also just focus on external and internal rotation at the shoulders. Unless we have a partner or wall, it's going to be hard to stretch out the chest. We could go to the stomach and stretch the chest like this in a scorpion position. So if I was teed out, for example, and I want to get my left chest, I would bring my right leg behind and bring my left hand up here, and I should feel a nice stretch in that left shoulder. And then you can try the same thing on the other way. So tee out the arm a little higher, the right arm, higher up, yep, on the ground. Yeah, tee it out, yep, good. Okay, traps. This one's a little harder too, right? But you can pin your hands underneath your shins, and then from here, I can bring my shoulders back. Feel it, and I can also from here pin them down, rotate my neck, and I can do a neck circle here with my shoulders pinned down. Okay? Anything else? So thoracic spine, we did one with the pyramid stretch, but I still like the quad rotation. So knees are wide, elbow in front of that knee, rotating open. And then hand behind the head, holding 3 inhales with a hand on the ribs, and then 3 inhales with a hand behind. And switching side, elbow in front of the knee, palm under the ribs, rotate, pushing into the ground, looking up at the ceiling. It's really important that you look up at the ceiling as well, that your neck's involved. 3 inhales, hands at the ribs, and then 3 inhales, hands at the back of the head. Okay? QL is a stabilizer, and it's part of the lower back. And we want that area to be stable, so we don't stretch the QL. If there's a QL issue, we try to stay away from it because it is a spinal issue. So if you are having QL or lower back pain, there's not a lot of stretches that are going to help that. It's going to be more about doing less of the things that are making it worse, which could be back squatting. Do you back squat? It's going to kill the QL. Because every time you do back squat, and those hips, and you do that pelvic tilt dance at the bottom, and the hips go like this, that's your compression of your spine with load on your back, super compressed, and then we're going up compressed. And a lot of times, we put so much weight on the bar that we go like this, and then when we come up, it looks like that. It goes from a squat, right, to a good morning. That's why loading front goblet squat or sides is going to take the pressure off the spine. So doing less of the things that hurt the spine, I would do, as opposed to stretching out, making it looser, because we actually want our lower back to be stable. So let's go ahead and end. We're going to lay down on our back. We're going to bring our knees together, hands on our knees. We're going to pull our forehead nice and close to our knees. We're going to turn into a ball here. We're going to squeeze everything for the last 10 seconds before we finally relax. Take one more big inhale, hold it, and then exhale, relax. Feet are out, palms are facing up, close the eyes, and just relax. Try to slow your breathing down. Try to breathe in so slow you can't hear yourself breathe. Less friction on your inhale. Try to slowly fill up the lungs, ribs, lower back, sides. When you exhale, exhale, let it all go, push it all out. Close your eyes. Let your body melt into the ground. Picture yourself at your happy place, feet in the sand. Maybe it's at grandma's. Who knows? Now for the last couple minutes here, really try to let go.
If you feel like you're scrunching your eyes, your forehead, or your hands, I want you to try to let go of all tension in your body. This is probably the only time you're told to just let go and just relax, right? Most of the time you're told what to do and how to do it. This is where you just get to just let your body just melt. From here, go ahead and start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. And move to the right side of your body in the fetal position. Slowly make your way up to cross leg. I'm going to end with 3 inhales and 3 exhales to sit up nice and tall. From here, go ahead and exhale everything out. Inhale, fill it all the way up. Hold it. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, fill it all the way up, 360. Keep inhaling. Keep inhaling. Hold it. Big exhale. Last one of the day. Give me all your effort here. Inhale, fill it all the way up. Keep inhaling, keep inhaling. Hold it at the top. Hold it a little bit longer this time. Hold it. And let it go. All right. Namaste, everybody. Namaste. Namaste means that we honor each other, share the light in each other. Hopefully you enjoyed that. All right. I went over a lot of different positions, and I have written out positions that you can do for each stage of the class. So example, for the warm-up, I'll have written poses that you can select when you're on your back, when you're in the hands and knees position, when you're standing, right? For the strength and the stability and the core, I'll have positions written in there as well, so you'll have things to choose from. When you write out your lesson plan, think about 30-second stretches, 30-second postures. It's easy to just line everything up in a 60-minute lesson plan if you know exactly what posture you're going to teach. Obviously, you didn't see me reading a lesson plan because I've been teaching this for a long time, but it might help me to have something in front of me because when I first started teaching, I couldn't remember sequences and poses and stuff like that. But obviously, when you get more familiar with it, you'll be able to do that. But for now, and for Isaac Barrett, you'll be doing some planning, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hand this out before you take off today. So this has your group, your unit, and also an example team teaching responsibility guide. So it's going to tell you what unit you're teaching and when you're teaching it, and then how you and your partner can work together on teaching that unit. Oops, sorry. Okay, so you and your partner can kind of go over that front page. We'll talk more about this in class on Friday. Go ahead and go to the back page, or the second page, where it says time activity, and describe what you will say, what the students will be doing. This I'd like you to start filling in for Friday, okay? So I want you to, with the best of your knowledge,
with the content that we've gone over, with the content that's on Canvas. I'd like you to try to write what you will be saying to your students in that box to the right, which is called your episode description. Write in at least one extension, one refinement, an IEP or mods. That is going to be for people with IEP modifications in your class. So, for example, if we were performing Sun Salutation A, for example, I may say that this can be done seated in a chair with minimal really modifications if they're doing everything except for obviously like Cobra, what would they do? So you'd have to have maybe modifications for them. But it depends. It's hard to give you a scenario if you don't have a student with a disability. But if you could write in one regression of that exercise or of that task or some way it could be adapted, that's all we're really looking for. But once you start teaching, you'll write that in specifically for your students. And then application or assessment. So how could that be assessed? Could it be peer assessed? Could it be teacher observational? What could they do for that to be applied or assessed? For example, assessment could be, can they complete 10 passes in a row without it dropping to the ground? That was the 5-star, or the 5-star passing that we did. So one assessment could be, can they do that continuously for 20 seconds without letting the ball drop, okay? And they could give you a thumbs up or they could give you a check off for that as well. The next page I have posture. It says mountain pose. Okay, this is just some criteria for mountain pose, and then we were going to go over some other postures today, but I think we're going to run out of time. But what I have here is I have mountain pose, I have the criteria for the pose, and then I have the cues based on the positioning of the feet, the hands, the shoulders, the head, the spine, stuff like that. And what we could do here is you could get a partner if you want with your students, or with your students, you have them partner up, and then have maybe 10, or if there's 24 students, maybe 12 students off to the side watching. You teach the class, say, all right, now let's go into mountain pose. Okay, and then their partner is off to the side, checking yes or no for their feet, for their knees, for their hips, for their palms, for their ribs, for their shoulders, for their head, for their spine. Okay, and then we could basically do that for each posture. Okay, so example for the next one would be downward dog. Okay, feet. Where are the feet supposed to be? What would I write in criteria for feet for downward dog? What's that? Together, not totally together. They're not shoulder width. We try to get the heels down. Feet are hip width distance. Okay? Feet are hip width distance. Knees are straight. Heels down if possible. Hips up toward the sky. Nice, Tyler. Palms. What are the palms and fingers? Hendrik said it. Say it again. Spread apart. Okay. Elbows, downward dog. What would I say about my elbows? Want them bent? Want them straight, right? Elbows forward. Okay. Ribs. Probably down. Always want ribs down. Shoulders for downward dog. Probably elevated, right? We don't want them depressed. Elevated, pronated, or head. What do we want with our head with downward dog? So for head, it can just be relaxed. You can shake it yes, you can shake it no, but basically relaxed. We don't want it extended like this. So I would say head, you would just put relaxed. Spine straight. Okay? Tabletop. Where are my hands for tabletop? Shoulder width or under the shoulders. What about my knees? Hip width. What about my feet? in line with my knees. Okay, what about my spine? Neutral. Okay, head, chin tucked. Okay, all that matters because you tell someone to go to tabletop or hands and knees, and it could look like this. Go to your hands and knees. I'm on my hands and knees. I'm kneeling though, So you have to be specific. Straighten the elbows, hands under the shoulders, fingertips spread apart, feet, toes tucked. A lot of people will just go like this. All that stuff kind of matters, okay? Because we are actually trying to stretch out that big toe, believe it or not, in these positions, even though it looks like we're not really doing that much here, okay? All right, last one, child pose. What are my cues? Adrian. Feet together, toes touch. Ozzy. Where are my knees? Wide or narrow? Angled out? Is that what you said? So knees are out, knees are wide, toes touch. Okay, what about my spine and shoulders? Spine straight, shoulders overhead, forehead down. Okay, what's the cue for the nose? The bridge of the nose is touching the mat. Okay? Because, I could go like this and put my chin down, and that would be very uncomfortable, but I'm still in child pose. Those little details will matter. I know I went through it and you were able to do it and everything was fine. But when you're teaching it, you're going to notice like, oh, I need to be a little bit more specific. Okay? So go back through these videos if you've never taught yoga before. Look at the cues. Have all your cues out. Know your cues. If you need to look at your lesson plan while you're teaching, that's fine. Especially for that first unit, or first day of the unit, that's going to be fine. But see if you can do it without the lesson plan as well. You'll feel a lot more confident when you know the lesson so much that you don't even need it, right? But again, how would I get my students to peer assess each other? I might just do it 30 minutes in. Say, all right, everyone grab a partner. You're going to have one assessment. You're going to be looking at the downward dog. You're going to have 12 people off to the side watching their partners perform, and then we're going to switch. Okay, and maybe do a different posture or, each class, maybe just one thing each class. It could be simple. Something like even just like mountain pose. Okay, it doesn't have to be that hard. Friday, what I'd like you to do is I've given you a skeleton of your first lesson plan. I'd like you and your partner to talk and fill as much as you can of this out before Friday. Friday, bring in your laptops. We're going to be working on lesson plan 1. Lesson plan 1 should be done before class on Monday. Monday, we're going to review lesson plan 1 and we're going to simulate our lessons. We're going to have everyone simulate about a 10 to 15 minute lesson on Monday. Friday and Monday, we're going to the rec field. So we're going to be in the classroom at first, depending on when the rec fields are allowing us to go out there, we might go to the rec fields first and then classroom after, but either or, it'll be classroom rec or rec classroom on Friday and on Monday. So Friday, bring in a skeleton copy of your lesson plan. We're going to go over the affective, cognitive, and psychomotor domain assessments. We're going to go over lesson planning. Monday, you'll have your lesson plan completed, and you're going to go over it with the class and simulate. And then literally 1 week from today is our first day with 120 high school students. Each of you groups are going to have 24 students, like I said. Your set induction for the first day is going to be a bit longer than all your other units, right? I want you to get to know them. I want an icebreaker activity, something that's not going to take more than 10 minutes, please. Basically just at least getting them either socializing with you or with the class in some type of way that helps you remember their names, okay? And we'll talk more about all that type of stuff on Friday and on Monday. Any questions before we head out today? Whose first yoga class was this? Nice. All right. How did everybody feel after their yoga class? Okay, you should always feel a little bit better, right? A little bit more relaxed. Notice that even with our fitness unit, we're not trying to like make you sore. Like, sore is not a good thing. Sore means you progressed too fast. People think that being sore is what is being productive, but if you ask the best athletes in the world if they want to be sore after a workout, they'll all say no. Okay, only people that want to get sore are people that are trying to gain muscle. The only people that are trying to gain muscle are people that are really into hypertrophy training or bodybuilding. And those people end up on stage with all their clothes off. So if that's what you want to do, then those should be your goals, and we need to talk about those goals. But I'd say 99% of people, that's not their goal. So getting sore, beating your students up with training is not a solution to anything. Just to put that out there. Yeah, we don't punish with exercise. We're not trying to make them sore. We're trying to slowly progress them through fitness. And you'll notice that a lot of the terms we use in yoga, we can use in fitness. We can use some of these stretches during our invasion sports and also in dance. So it should all just kind of work together by the end of the 5 units. So, all right, we will see everybody on Friday. And if you could help me put some of the equipment away, that would be great. Let's all show up in the classroom on Friday. We'll just meet there.